Welcome into the era of AI, in which I'm going to show you a very interesting product that you can create, which is these types of images where the image is actually a landscape image and it goes into basically three separate mockups. So we have this one, for example, which looks like these images are cut, right? And we have this one here, which looks like one image in three prints, right? We can achieve this, but we'll have to use Leonardo in this application, and we'll have to use the canvas editor, and I'll show you how. So go here to Leonardo AI, and depending on what you want to create, depending on what the market requires. So let's say, for example, you want to sell ocean print waves. Let's create something like that. So basically, let me first of all close that window there. I'm going to go this time for the photoreal option. You can use another particular model, depending on you. Now, there's Leonardo Diffusion, Leonardo Vision. All of these will give you realistic results. And also the prompt, the prompt makes all the difference. So depending on your prompt, the image will be different from prompt to prompt. So I'm going to actually be very simple here. I'm going to say ocean waves from or seen, viewed from the top down, realistic, 4K, Ultra HD, photo, real photo, and high quality, high resolution. And here, instead of this cinematic option, I'm going to actually go for something else. Let me see here, what kind of options do we have? Right, so we have a bunch. I'm actually going to go for photography. I'm sure there's an option here for photos. Stock photo, yeah. And then here, when it comes to the size, I'm going to go for landscape 16 by 9 inches. And let's hit the generate button. Now, this image is going to be big, but the image that I'm trying to create here should fit for 3 printables, which means it has to be bigger. And that is where the AI canvas editor will come into play, which is a tool which is integrated inside of Leonardo, which, much like DALL-E's outpainting feature, it allows you to expand upon your image and, quite frankly, even to basically add elements to your image by deleting a part of your image. Now, this looks pretty good. Now, ocean waves, I'm going to change this. I'm going to say ocean shore waves and generate a new image because I want to show an image with the sand. This one is not really bad, but I don't really think that this is the best image that we can get. But hey, let's go and have a look at the quality here because this does look realistic. And as you can see, this could pass as a stock photo. There's a market for stock photos as well. If you're interested, you can start selling these as a stock photo on platforms such as iStock, Pexels, Pixabay, Unsplash, and so on and so forth. They require such images. And so here, as you can see, this is a pretty good image. Now, I'm not gonna change this. I think this is good. So let me go ahead here and let me show you some power. So here, if you notice, there is this motion option. There is this Alchemy upscaler, but this is also edit in canvas option. Click on that. Now this will take you to edit this in canvas, which means we can increase the size of this. And we just want to add one layer. We want to make it a little bit bigger. And also, you have to be guided through this process. So here we have this selector, which can select the image. You also have the option to unselect, which means that right now that selector is no longer with the image. You can see it's basically there. Now, what I want to do here, I want to scroll down and I want to control the size of the selector. So here, let me see. You can see that it is basically being influenced and getting bigger. I'm going to actually increase the size of it when it comes to this and also from this side to kind of cover everything. Now, we have the option to unclick. And right now I can move my selector with freedom. And so let me actually see this. Now the size is 16 by 9. So normally here, I should go for a 16 by 9 inches. As you can see, this is cool, except for our image seems to be a little bit bigger. Now let me do one thing here. Let me increase the size of this and drag it over here and increase a little bit more. All right, now we fit the entirety of the thing. And of course, at the end, we will still edit this in Canva. Now I'm going to zoom out, and then what I want you to do is just drag it sideways, and we want to basically increase the size of this image. So all you need to do right here is to add a prompt. Now the prompt should be nothing different than the original prompt. So I'm going to actually say see waves and generate. Now this prompt actually helps the tool to start, but because I'm covering this part of the image, the tool will use that as well to recognize what the image is about. And on the other side, it's going to create in this particular empty area some suggestions that it will suggest, which are 4. And also they depend on how many you choose. So you can choose to have 4 suggestions or 2 suggestions. In this case, I only have allowed 2. So let me go and select one of them. Make sure that you select the one that you think is good. I'm going to select the first one. I think it's already great. And here, you can now move this down a little bit and then expand upon that extra part. Sea waves or shore sea waves. And if I click right now on generate, in that missing area here at the bottom, it's going to generate some sea waves for the shore, which is really tremendous. Now, I still have not selected 4 options. I think 2 options are not too bad. So I'm probably going to leave it like that. And you can zoom in for extra precision. But generally speaking, this tool doesn't get wrong because it really generates the other part of the image like you want it to. So here, as you can see, this is the first suggestion. We have another suggestion. Let's see the other one. All right, I'm going to have to go with this one I think is good. And right now, let me zoom out and basically take my selector again. Not the image, actually. You can go back by clicking here or just clicking on Control Z. Now I want to move just the cursor. I want to move the cursor right here and basically complete the image. So I'm going to click Generate. In the meantime, I'd like you to go to Canva, and then we have to separate the images. So if we go, for example, and check on this particular listing on Etsy, you can see the size. They're not displaying the size. Let me see if inside of the listing they're actually displaying it. Okay. So as you can see, 3 large. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually go for the bottom. I think here they're displaying the size. 4 by 5 inches ratio. Okay. And there's 5 by 7. I'm going to actually go for 5 by 7. So let me go right here and let me show you what I'm trying to do. So if you go to custom size on Canva, make sure that you select this in inches instead of pixels and go for 5 by 7 inches and click on create a new design. Now, once you have done that, go back into your Leonardo and then select the option which you think is going to fit you, then accept. Now you can see that right now we are good. And here's what I'm going to actually do. I'm going to download this as a project. Now you can click right here on this download button, click on the download, and it will download your project. Now this image that you're looking at, we're going to have to separate it into 3 distinct images. And this can be done using Canva. So let's get right into it. Now the first thing that you need to do is to basically place your image right over here, and then we can start the editing process. I'm going to say that this is a waves photo or waves stock photo. You can also sell this as a stock photo, to be honest. That's also something you can do. I'm going to say waves. Let me go out of the full screen. Waves photo for Etsy. And then I'm going to go right here and drag my artwork. It's a PNG, so it should be okay. And then what I want you to do is to now start the work. Now, the image is still not added. Okay, it is. Now, what you need to do here is you need to click set the image as background. Right, let me set the image as background. I'm going to double click. And then what you want to do, you want to move it because you want to show the first initial part of the image. Now, it's taking quite some time to move. Let me double click again. Okay. All right. As you double click, let me do it again. You can see that we have the option to move the image. Now you can either move it with your cursor, or in my honest opinion, I'll just move it like this to the far side. And when you do so, you can see that right now we see the first part of our image. Now the second part of the image, we need to basically go here, or instead of just going here, let me duplicate this image here. And then on the second one, the duplicate one, double click, and then you need to show some part. I'll just slide it across like this. so that you can basically add another one. Make sure that you keep an eye on the measurements so that you do it in a right way. And then finally, duplicate this very same image right here. And then at the final one, it should be easy. The one in the center is the one that you have to make sure that you get correctly, but this one you can just drag like this. And as you can see, we have our images. Now you can download these as a zip file, and the person that's going to download these ones is going to print each one of them individually. But let's go ahead and create a mockup for our images. Now that we have our images, I'm actually going to go back into Placeit, which is the website that is going to enable us to generate a pretty good looking mockup for these images that you can use as part of your listing. Because remember, when it comes to any product, you have to showcase your prints in several different dispositions so that you can give people more ideas about how this would look like. So I can go for wall art, right? Wall art, and you can go for 3 wall art. So that basically gives you access to 3 wall art mockups. And I want to click on enter. All right, so there are ones that are pretty good. I don't see ones where we have 3. I only see ones where there's 2. Now this one has 3. Let me click on that. And then let's try to fit our images in there. Now, let me see if we can find some more interesting mockups as well, because these ones look good, but I'm sure we can find something where we can see the image front view. All right, so they're requiring images of 600 by 800 pixels, which should actually be easy because I have access to the resizer in Canva. So I'm just going to go to the original Canva images, the three images, and I'm going to click on this resize option, and I'm going to switch to 600 by 800 pixels, which should basically help me save some time because I don't want to go back and upload the images again. And then click here on custom size. Now, when you're creating these products, you have to make sure that you're thinking about the time as well, because you can spend an entire day creating one image, but your competitors are spending 1 minute creating 10 products. So you have to know that some people are launching not just one Etsy store, they're launching multiple Etsy stores. And there's software around the world that can enable you to trick these websites and to create multiple accounts. Actually, just recently I've been targeted by some businesses that are, one business in particular is interested in me promoting their software that enables people to open multiple computers in one computer. And what they can do, they can create infinite accounts like that, and they can run infinite amounts of Etsy stores. And so if such technology actually existed a long time ago, but you have to put in mind that the point here is if you're not ready to work hard, someone else is working a lot harder than you, and they're going to get 20 times the more results. I'm going to download these image by image. Let's start with the first, and then again, come back for the second. Now make sure that when you try to download these images, if you want to isolate them, that you just select one at a time, because if you select more than one at a time, they will be downloaded as a zip file, right? And you'll need to extract that file by clicking on the wizard button, which I think you don't really want to do. It's better to just download them like this, especially if they're just a few images, 1 or 2 or 3. But if they're more, it'd be much better if you download them as a zip file and extract the files. That is faster. So now we have all of the images. Let's come right here and let's start uploading by uploading the first image. And it should go something like this. All right, starting from image number 1, and you'll have to crop. And I'm actually just going to leave it like this because I want to keep that consistency. So I'm going to click on crop. And the second one, let's go for upload from my device, and then click on the crop option. And then you can go ahead for the other one as well. The third, let me go and do this and upload that. Now, of course, there are different mockups. So this mockup here is not a full mockup that shows the image in full. So you can go for some other types. Right? Instead of this particular mockup, you can go for a mockup like this one that this person has used in this particular application, which I think is not too different from ours. But this one, on the other hand, it looks pretty cool. Now, it's easy to do that. First of all, crop this. And this is it. This is our image. Now, just for fun, I'm going to actually go and do one more. All right, so I'm actually going to show you the results. This is the image that we have created. This is how it looks like from afar. And this is how it looks like this. And of course, you need to go and create as many mockups as possible, like I said, to show as many particular illustrations as possible to people that are going to buy this. And it's pretty good if you add also a brand name on your images by editing them on Canva first before uploading them. But without further ado, I think that this is it when it comes to this particular gig or product that you can sell on Etsy. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you about anxiety worksheet bundles, which is also a product that I've seen do pretty good on Etsy. If we look for anxiety worksheet bundle, we'll be able to see that there's a lot of people selling this and it works pretty good, right? So, and they're nothing but some pieces of paper that people can download and they can use as cards that would help them and help their children. Now, let's go and explore that in the next lecture. Passive Income Gen Z, wishing you the best and signing out. Keep learning, keep mastering all of the AI tools.